Welcome to the FX debate. With me is Geoffrey Yu, who is a senior FX strategist at UBS Investment Bank. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the British currency to start with. Do you think that the market is too bearish at the moment on the pound?
Well, the market is probably getting too bearish on the pound in terms of its targets, and we keep on talking how low can it go. 125, 110. Some people think about parity maybe against the dollar. That is definitely a bit excessive. We do think that sterling will need to weaken ahead, especially given the adjustments that's needed to monetary policy, to economic growth and various other factors like political instability. Our year-end target right now is 141. We might get an undershoot of that, but otherwise I think it's important not to get too carried away.
And do you think that a weaker British currency will help kickstart the economy and launch this exports renaissance that authorities in the UK would like to see?
Probably not, because the UK traditionally is not a manufactured goods exporting country. Actually, the bulk of UK's exports is still North Sea oil, so hopefully the Scottish independence debate is not going to change that too much. The UK really does export services very well to tourism, education, for example, but the environment, the debate over making the UK a better place to do business, and this involves changes to immigration laws, for example, and also probably lower tax rates. That really isn't going in the right direction either. So sterling weakness probably helps, but it's not going to be a solution to the UK in the same way that Japanese companies, for example, or Korean companies will see it as a lifesaver. I'm being told right now that Japanese cars are going to cost the same as Korean cars right now, so overseas, which would be very important, I think, for the Japanese economy. So just going back to the UK, sterling weakness helps, but a lot of structural reforms, a lot of changes in policies will be needed if the UK wants to take full advantage of the benefits that a weak sterling bring.
And can you tell me how the EU debate here in the UK is affecting the sterling?
On the margins, it's negative. I think the week where Cameron announced the referendum was going to happen, we saw a lot of sterling selling by our clients, especially international clients. They may not really understand the subtleties of the UK's position with the European Union and how Europe really didn't even want UK in the European Union at one phase. Michel de Gaulle actually vetoed its initial application rights. So these things, they just look at it, look, I want to see UK in Europe. Even America, Obama administration has said we want to see UK at the centre of Europe driving the terms of the debate. So if the UK continues to drift away without any suitable short-term alternative, be it ready-made trade agreements, for example, with the European Union, then it is going to be problematic. We don't really see it as a structural impediment. Even if the UK leaves the European Union, I think barring severe financial regulation, which could hurt the city, ultimately the UK has always been a trading economy and always will be a trading economy, so it wouldn't hurt the UK in that sense, and London will always be a hub for commerce. But right now we could do with as few short-term damages to sentiment as possible.
Which country or bloc of countries has the worst prospects, the UK or the Eurozone? Should you short the euro or the pound?
Tactically, so looking at short term, I'll be short sterling for sure. So I like euro sterling higher, maybe 92, 95. These are levels that we could target. But in the longer term, definitely the Eurozone is something that I would be much more worried about. The UK, according to the BBC, so this might not be right, so the pound is the world's oldest currency still in circulation, right? The euro has only been around since 1999 on a de facto basis, and will it still be around in 2099? I think the jury is still out there, especially, well, it may be around, but will it be around in its current form, or will the Eurozone be greater? People will not be asking questions about the pound in that way, and probably never. But they are asking questions about that for the euro. So that fundamentally just tells you which good is more damaged.
Thank you, Mr. Yu.